Hola muchachos, welcome to the video. So today we are going to be talking about how prisoners get muscular and so freaking. So a few days ago, I was over here chilling, looking for some inspiration.
What on earth am I watching, man?
And I came across some content that actually blew my mind about prisoners and how they're able to get big and strong while being locked up. But before I talk about how, we need to talk about why. Because from my experience working as a personal trainer, I have learned that before anybody can get in absolutely great shape, they need a very strong motivator. So first, prisoners have a whole lot of free time. And in order for them to kill boredom, a lot of them turn to working out. And as a very nice side effect, this helps them get strong and fit to be able to avoid any awkward situations that can occur if they drop the soap.
Don't drop the soap, Carl. I want that booty, Tom.
You can't have my booty!
Oh, yeah, I can.
The booty is mine. It belongs to me.
So when us regular folk in the free world think about getting in shape, our first thought is lifting weights. But unfortunately, most prisoners do not have this luxury because most prison facilities actually ban weightlifting because apparently the inmates were using the equipment for all the wrong reasons.
Let's get it, man. Man, dude, you gotta help me, man. I'm tired of being a pretty boy out here. I gotta protect my booty hole, man.
Bro,
let's get strong,
I got
man.
you. I got you, bro.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it, man. You got lift off? Let's go.
No, I got it, man.
Let's
I
go.
got it.
Let's go. Yeah, come on. Get it. Get it. Yeah. Here's my chance. Stop! What are you doing? That's for eating my cornbread, fool! Get it!
So in prison, weights are no bueno. But luckily, they can get in great shape by using some basic bodyweight movements. It's very possible for a prison inmate to build a pretty impressive physique. So for example, they could use push-ups to develop their chest and triceps, pull-ups for their back and buys, handstand push-ups for their shoulders, hanging leg raises for the core, and then air squats for the legs. But even with an understanding of all the basic movements, a prisoner is never ever gonna get swole if they don't use progressive overload. So this is a very simple principle that states that for a muscle to keep getting bigger and stronger, the demands placed on it need to increase over time. So one way that prisoners implement progressive overload is by increasing their volume. Now in this case, volume means increasing the sets or also increasing the reps. And as a prisoner becomes more and more advanced, they're going to need even more volume to keep growing. So it's not very uncommon for them to jack up their volume by training about 2 to 3 times a day, every single day. Now muchachos, that is a lot of working out. And if a prisoner only focuses on that, they are never going to get swole because they also need to pay attention to the nutrition. Because there's a saying, for you to get big, you need to eat big. This means you need to be eating more food that your body needs every single day for you to keep growing more muscle mass. Now, the good thing about being in prison is they get food on a very regular basis in the chow hall. Unfortunately, this may not be enough calories for them to be able to grow. But if a prisoner is very serious about getting swole, they can get in some extra calories from taking food from the other smaller inmates.
Hey, you know what? Press the wrong button, nigga pop.
Hey, girl. You gonna eat your cornbread?
Oh, Trevor.
Don't say nothing.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I think he's talking to you.
So once a prisoner has learned about the basic movements, progressive overload, and they're getting in enough nutrition, it's not going to be long until they get swole. And with that, they get some pretty good benefits. For one, they're going to find that it's a lot easier for them to protect their booty hole. And as a pleasant surprise, they might find that it's easy for them to attract officer hoes. This is because it's a pretty weird fact that the female guards are pretty fond of testing out the functional strength of some of the prison inmates with some horizontal cardio sessions. Man, so muchachos, when you think about it, prison doesn't really sound that bad. I mean, one, you get a lot of free time, you get to work out, and you get to pound hoes? Shoot. But seriously, let's get real. That is not what prison is about. Just like in life, most prison inmates, they go through phases. So at first, they might be very into working out, but then they realize why they're there in the first place. And that is to learn from the mistakes. So it's not uncommon for prison inmates, the longer they spend locked up, to start to develop a desire for self-development. And with that, you need the savvy prisoners realize that they need to get their workouts in, but they need to do it in a more time-efficient manner. And how they do this is by adding one more variable to the progressive overload equation: intensity. So one way a prisoner can increase the intensity of their workouts is by getting one of the female guards that they're pounding to get them
Good old Becky. Woo!
Using gymnastic rings is a very easy way to increase the intensity of your body weight workouts due to the added instability. But when I actually think about it, I'm not really sure rings in prison are gonna fly.
Now let me start by saying I don't like this beat, but I was at the start.
That's for eating my cornbread, fool!
So yeah, even though rings might not work, there's another way for them to increase the intensity of their workouts, and that is by adding load. So once again, when you're in the free world, you can add load very easily by adding weights to your workouts. But remember, weights are not allowed in prison. So because of this, prisoners need to get very creative with their loading. For example, they could use towels to be able to stimulate their biceps and triceps. Or they could get another inmate that they trust to be able to apply some external load for their pushing movements. And if they're very savvy, they can also fill up some pillowcases with water to make some makeshift weights. So muchachos, during the course of me creating this video, I have to say, I am pretty impressed, and prisoners definitely got me super inspired. So you see muchachos, this video really got me thinking. If some prisoners are able to make something out of seemingly nothing, what's our excuse?